Kal Halalim, La Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rucha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles at GMS, Ruel, who I learned this truth from, and salutations and blessings unto you hopeful elect. This lesson is called The Lot is Cast into the Lap. And I was just meditating on, various things in the spirit. And basically, how it's brothers should know it's not a coincidence that you're walking the path you're on. Basically, you're on the path that you're on because everything is predestined, and that's a thing that Christians and even Israelites, right? Even certain Israelite groups, they can't fathom that. Something called reincarnation, which is a spooky word to people, which simply means people. And the thing is, people get spooked out by words because they don't look them up, but our apostles and elders, they from day one, they always said two things. They said, try the spirit. You gotta look up everything we're telling you. You can't just blindly follow. And look up words. Look up words and study. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved, a workman. I forget how it goes. A workman that worketh and is not ashamed, something to that effect. But basically, if you're in them books and you're using your leisure time, for the most part, aside from your hobbies and your de-stressors, so to speak, and your carnal activity, which everyone has, because the scriptures speak about that. The scriptures talk about in the Apocrypha, in the book of Ecclesiastes, that about that pastime. The word pastime just means like a hobby, But anyway, basically how that word reincarnation, right? Re means again or back, and incarnate just means in the flesh or the flesh. So back in the flesh again, or in the flesh again, and that's something that shouldn't be so what do you call it, spooky, because or unfathomable, because look, we have spirits, and these bodies are just clothes, man. But anyway, I'm talking too much, but I'm gonna start with 2 Ezra 16 and 13. This is one of my favorite scriptures from when I came in the truth and I started reading the Apocrypha, right? This is 2 Ezra 16 and 13. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. And this is all parabolically referring to the missiles, the nuclear missiles, right? Intercontinental ballistic missiles. That bow, them arrows. You had a movie called Broken Arrow with was it Broken Arrow? Or am I mixing that up with the actual term that they have in the military for a stolen missile, which is a broken arrow? I think they had a movie like that, Broken Arrow or something like that. But the arrows are referring to the missiles because guess what? The military refers to them as arrows as well. And this is really the Lord's missiles, because he gave you Edomites that technology. He gave you the insight, the intel, right? These Edomites are always after intelligence, right? Information gathering, right? So the Most High, he inspired your smiths, right? In the book of Isaiah, right? I forget, 56 around, or 54, right? Lord's will, I'll get that after. But, his smiths that blow with the coals in the fire, But, yeah, man, all you got to do is ask yourself, what kind of arrow is shot into the end of the earth? Shot from where? Shot from one end of the earth to the other, right? So verse 14, it says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, And that's in Jeremiah 50 or 51 about the archers in array against Babylon, right? That's going into the missiles. That's all these nations that are nuclearly capable, have nuclear capability, which is a lot of nations. Iran, Pakistan, North Korea, China, Russia. Even it mentions Ethiopia is going to join in, right? Verse 17 is the point. Now this is Esdras during the time of when he was in the transition from the Babylonian to the Persian, right? He's seen that because he was in the Babylonian captivity, but then the Babylonians, they fell to the Persians in history, right? So he's saying, woe, verse 17, woe is me, meaning what? Destruction, death is me, unto me. Woe is me who will deliver me in those days. So he's talking about a time where he's seen a vision. You gotta, you gotta envision this, as Apostle Gabaro says. You gotta envision this. He's seen something things that don't exist. He's seen tanks, all kinds of weaponry and artillery and force and power and might, all these different vehicles, men in different kinds of battle array. They're not wearing the medieval mail, the chain mail, right, as armor. They don't have breastplates of brass. They don't have ancient swords. They have modern swords. So he's seen these things. So why would he say, who's gonna deliver me in those days? Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. These are the times we're in. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. Who or what shall I do when these evils shall come? So what is he talking about again? Why is he putting himself in a time that doesn't exist? Because the certain prophets, I'm not going to say every prophet, because there was different levels of understanding, but now we're at a point where it's not a secret. If you can't, like the apostles say, man, if you can't get this, that means you're not meant to get it. Maybe you're meant to get it at a certain time, or maybe you're not meant to get it at all. And that's how precious this thing is, man. That's how terrifying and frightening it is as well. The fear of the Lord, right? Because you can clearly see it, man. You can see it, like crystal clear, right? As clear as day. I'm looking out right now, and I see the sun, and I see the trees, and as clear as that, you can see it. But then you look at other Israelites, and you're just like, damn, you can't see this? So it's not a thing to really make fun of anybody, of course, It's a thing to really be grateful for, right? So let's go to the actual scripture for the lesson. This is Proverbs 16:33. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord Yahweh. Wow, what does that mean? What does that mean? The lot is cast into the lap, Basically, what you're doing, the motions and everything you're going through in your life, how you're, like years ago, the apostles mentioned something called MO, right? You hear people go, oh, is that your MO? What's your MO? Which stands for Latin modus operandi, or operandi, which means method or mode of operation, how you operate. So everything is predestined. Everything is already set up, So the lot is cast into the lap, man. You're doing what you're supposed to do. It's whether you want to or not, it's there, man. It's boom, as soon as you're born. Because guess what? The Most High knows your spirit. He knows who you were before. Of course he does. He set up everything. Right? The lot is cast into the lap. But who disposes that? But the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord Yahweh. Let's look up that word disposing. Right? Which is mashapat, which means what? You brothers should know, judgment, without even looking up. Mashapat. But when we say, when we use the name of the Most High and His Son, I'm not gonna really say it, because when you say certain things, you'll put it out. But you know what? We gotta curse out this place anyway. Actually, so Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Racha Kodash Shalak Rayam send evils, right? Wa mashapatyam, and judgments, right? That's what when we say the curses, la babal wa adawam wa gawayam babakusha 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 the waraman, which basically means send evils, right? And judgments, right? When we say mashapat is judgment, when you add the yum at the end of the words, it makes it a plural, right? So mashapat yum means judgment. Send judgments to Babylon and Edom or Edomites and Gawayim, which is heathens, other nations. So judgment. So the whole disposing, all the judgment, justice, ordinance, act of deciding the case, process, procedure. So that's what that means. A lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. So it's not who casts that lot. Who makes that lot for you is the Lord, man. It's not just random. Oh, let's just the roulette or the wheel, and it's just clicking. Oh, we'll just dispose that to that guy. No, the Most High sets everything up, because if Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is in order, He's gonna make His creation in order, and His ways in order, this earth in order, right? You have 4 seasons. You have different elements in the earth. Everything is set up in order. You got the animals in order. Everything's in order. It's just he let loose a madman, his sword, to deceive the earth. But that's all for prophecy's sake anyway. But that's the lesson. That's the basis of the lesson, right? Now let's go to where is that? I was gonna get Salakia. All right, this is a thing that Christians they can't get this, and the thing is, there's Israelites that can't get this, because look, even in the ancient world, you had division between the Sadducees and the Pharisees, right? When you brothers look up and read that history, even in the New Testament, it actually mentions that. But hold on, let me get this. This is Matthew 19:28, and Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration. That's another word that's like a synonym for reincarnation. To regenerate means to produce again, to be created again, right? So he's saying, ye which have, Salakia, Matthew 19:28, and Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, which this didn't happen. But the apostles are back here again, the same 12 and the other ones. They're back here again, right? In the regeneration, in their lot, right? That's what it means in this scripture. Where is that? 1 Corinthians 14:32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. What does the word subject mean? Sub means under, ject means rule. So the prophets, they are subject to the prophet, the spirits of the prophets. And that's what I was saying about the point about the clothing, right? That your spirit. Hold on. Where is that in Job? Yeah, this is Job 10:11, right? Why did I go to Genesis? All right, this is Job 10:11. It says, Thou hast clothed me with skin. I'll start at 10 actually. Right, it says, Hast thou not poured me out as milk and curdled me like cheese? Right, your spirit is poured out. And then verse 11, Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh. Clothed what? What are you talking about? Meaning your spirit, right? Your consciousness, or Esau calls subconscious, but your spirit, man. The energy that is transferred when this earthly vessel, this body, is no more functioning, That's what it's talking about. Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and hast fenced me with bones and sinews. What does a fence represent? A fence is a guard, a defense, a safety, right? So that's going into what? Your bones, your whole skeletal system, throughout your whole body, sinews, your ligaments, tendons that connect your muscles to your bones and whatnot, etc. So this is Job just saying, look, these are clothes. These, that's why Paul mentioned the earthly body. Or yeah, this is 2 Corinthians 5:1. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of the Most High, and house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens, man. And guess what? The elect, whoever those brothers are, they're gonna experience that firsthand, man. They're gonna, when it says in the twinkling of an eye, in a moment, your body shall be changed, man. All right, so that's going into these new bodies, these superhuman bodies, these extraterrestrial bodies, right? Because they're not gonna be celestial. You're not gonna be fully angel mode, meaning you're gonna eat and enjoy pleasures of the flesh, aka sex, right, in the kingdom. But you're not gonna hurt anymore. You're not gonna have this ease. You're gonna die in your strength. Your strength will not be abated like Moses is, right? Moses, he didn't die with osteoarthritis and diabetes and he needed a walking cane. No, he died in his strength, man. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. But anyway, I'm kind of going off topic, but that's, that's pretty much what I wanted to bring out in the spirit of just meditating. I'm going to end it off on this, actually. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, this is Ephesians 1. I'll start at 1, right? Paul, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, by the will of the Most High, to the saints which are at Ephesus, and to the faithful in Mashiach Yahushua, right? Grace be to you and peace from the Most High, our Father, and from the Lord Yahushua Mashiach. Blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who hath blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Mashiach, right? Verse 4, according as he had chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, meaning before before you read Genesis 1 about the void and the light, right? Before even the foundation of the earth, he had chosen, right? He already had his men, the 144,000, right? Verse 4 again, according as he had chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, meaning what? Keeping the law, that's love. If you love me, keep my commandments, right? Verse 5, like this Latin tribe, so like I had to bring this up yesterday before we're starting camp. This Latin tribe passed by, and it was me and the brother Ashar were setting up, and he came by and he's like, oh, what's this? And he pointed out we had the 12 tribe sign, which is spiritual, because that's in the book of Ezekiel 37, that people shall ask, what do these planks, the wooden planks mean? The 12 tribe sign. And I was talking to him, I was breaking it down, and he's like, yeah, I'm not part of any denomination. I just believe I'm a Christian, and he was talking, then he mentioned the law. So I said, hold on, do we keep the law? Or do we not keep it? And he was kind of leaning towards, he actually said keep it in a way, but he